one thing they can't take away from you is what you know and what you learn. And I try to learn something new every day, and I try to keep myself mentally going by reading as much as I possibly can on any kind of subject, any kind of book, any kind of thing I can get my hands on. Basically what we do every day, we try to find work, but all you're doing is killing time for the next time you get back in the building, go back to sleep again, and get up, start the whole day again. And all you're doing is constantly killing time. It's all about killing time. And every day you try to come up with different ways to kill time. One of the things that people have a misconception about people that are homeless is that they're stupid or that we're lazy or that we have some kind of mental problems. Some of us just bad paths that we took in life. I myself, a lot of the plus guys that are here are right out of prison. This is bad choices that we made in life. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. I know a lot of people out there are doing the same thing. And it could happen any minute. You lose your job, and next thing you lose your car, you lose your house, and you're on the street. So it happens.
Everybody, thank you tons for coming. I think this is our fourth walking mile, fourth. Thank you tons for coming. If it's your first one with us, throw your hand in the air. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to ask each of them a couple questions. Actually, I'm going to ask you all the same question. And the first question is, what brought you to Wayside? Second question is, what is it that Wayside has done for you in your season here?
I think that the thing that's really the most important that Wayside's done for me is when I get down to the bottom of where I repeatedly go, there's always someplace and somebody here that I know will give me a lift up. I can come get a shower, I can come get something to eat, have a locker, be able to keep my clothes somewhere other than in a backpack. It's just priceless. You couldn't put a price tag on this.
A little over 2 years ago, my mother passed away, and it was devastating to me. When she died, I gave up. I shut myself in the house. I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't go to the mail. Basically, I stayed in the house all day. My sister came over and said, "You can't do this anymore. We have to put you in the hospital." So I was put in the hospital. And during the time I was in the hospital, I lost the house. It was unlivable because of the mess that I had dogs leave. And so when I was released from the hospital, I came straight to Wayside. I came back to Wayside to volunteer because I don't want to forget where I came from, and I don't want to get uppity again where life is going to hit me in the face again. Because the next time life gives me a hard time, I want to be ready for it, and I want to be there with Jesus.
Similar to Gloria, I lost my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, all within a year and a half of each other. I gave up on life. I became the right-hand man of one of the largest cocaine distributors in the northwest suburbs. I did things you would not believe, to collect money, things I'm not proud of. Went to prison, reestablished my connection with the Lord, paroled here to Pads, met Josh, Vic, Jeff, and they brought me back to God again. To you guys, man. But it means a lot to me. I mean, they have a clothing room. You can't buy a shirt like this anymore. What do you waste? I'm choking up because it means so much to me where I was and where I'm at now. And it's just a long way. It's a long road. God bless them.
When I showed up and I started hanging out with the homeless, I never thought that I'd make friends who were homeless in the process, and but that's really what's happened with Tim. I used to think that, I had something to offer, but then you start realizing you really don't. That the greatest thing I have to offer, in fact, is just the fact that I'm broken and a screwed up individual, and that I can be real, and I can be the same around them as I am around my friends, as I am around my family members. So I think the homeless have taught me to stop trying to be some patron saint that's trying to save people and just being myself. It's just hanging out without an agenda. My relationship with Tim has meant a lot to me for the same reason any relationship means a lot to you. You enjoy hanging out with them, they pick you up when you're down, you share a laugh.
So I never want to have like a gathering of people and have Tim near me and not give him an opportunity to have him display his gifting. So I don't know if you're up to it at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
But,
Yeah, I'm down. And they're always worried about what I'm going to say.
That's why I'm still standing next to him.
He always says IQ drops when he says next to me. All right, we'll do an easy one. What do you call a cow with two legs? Beef? What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Right. How do you get dragon milk? A cow with very short legs. How come a milking stool only has 3 legs? The cow has the udder. How do you know it rained cats and dogs the night before? You're always stepping in a poodle.
By the way, I'm his business agent, so I'm signing him up.
All right, what do you call a dog with no legs? Anything you want, it's not going to come. Grew up in Ozzie and Harriet kind of home. Mom and Dad was there all the time. They raised me and my 2 brothers as a regular good family. I wanted for nothing. I played sports my whole life. I had my hip broken playing football, and I lost my scholarship, and that kind of set me on another different path than when I originally was trying to get on. And I started drinking, started partying. Later on in life, I ran into one of the largest cocaine distributors in the northwest suburbs here in Chicago, and I was his right-hand man. That entails me to, if you were behind in your payments, if you got stuff fronted to you and you weren't paying, I came to your house. You'd rather deal with me than the next person that comes to your house, because it's not going to be as nice as I was, even though I wasn't all that nice. Case in point, this one couple owed us a lot of money, and they weren't paying. So I left their house, and I was driving down the road, and I see this car in front of me hit a dog. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of perfect. I picked up the dog. It was a German Shepherd, I think it was. It was pretty bloody. I wrapped it, I had a couple of garbage bags in the trunk. I wrapped it in a couple of garbage bags. I drove back to their house right about almost this time of day. The sun was just going down. And they had a big picture window, all white leather couches, seats, love seats, a big, nice throw rug that was really nice, an Oriental one that was really expensive. And I 1, 2, 3, grabbed the dog by the back legs, and I threw it through the window. Got back in my car, took off. About 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from my guy. He goes, go back to the house, they got the money. Now, at the time, it was kind of funny. But when I reflect back on it, I was like, what am I doing? And I go, these people, I mean, I know they ran the bill up, but that's human nature. They're gonna try to get anything for free you can possibly get. And I kind of taught them a lesson, but I taught myself a lesson too, that maybe I'm getting too old for this. I've had calls from the people that we used to, the distributors that we used to work with. And when I got out of prison, somehow or another they hunted me down. I don't know whether they used social security numbers or what, but they found me. And I want to know if I want to go back to work for them. And I seriously thought about it. I'd be back, I'd be out of the street. I have my own place, car, everything, all the perks that come with it, but I already went to prison. And that road leads back to prison again. I don't want to go, no matter what. I think I'd rather live a real life and take my chances with the real world than to go back to trying to get on top of the world by making it being a big drug kingpin.
We get so lost in our own suburban values, I know I do, and I need people around me to kind of shake me out of that and to show me that there's a world outside of my little suburban bubble. And hanging out with the homeless is an opportunity to do that.
I'm stuck in that rut right now. I'm going through the motions, and I don't know where, because I'm 50 years old, half crippled, an ex-felon. I'm limited in my choices. I can't run for president. I can't run for any office, really. And it's just, I just want to get a 40-hour-a-week job. I get my own place and just, but I'd also like to help keep kids out of the situation I was in. But I don't know how to go doing that.
Well, I think as human beings, our fundamental need is to be loved. And for a lot of these homeless folks, I've had the privilege of getting to know their stories. You hear a lot of the pain they've been through, and this common theme of abandonment by family and friends, and the way it is being homeless is you're kind of kicked to the street. You got no place to lay your head. You're considered the scourge of the city. And after a while, I think some of these, it's just natural. I think that after a while, being homeless, you start buying into that, and you start believing that you're not of any value. What they, is just as much as anybody else, really needs is somebody to come alongside them and to remind them that they matter, that they have dignity and worth as human beings, and that they matter immensely to God. Because I think the meaning of life is to love and be loved. Without that, as human beings, without being loved by another, we start shriveling up and dying. And I think that that's why being involved with the homeless, not just pouring soup into a bowl, but getting to know them and getting to know their stories and getting immersed in their lives is really important. It's that human need to be loved.
I'm always going to help out. Every kind of situation I can get into to help people and help people out in the situation they're in makes me feel better about myself.
In his ability to relate to people, I mean, every single homeless person in Elgin knows who he is. And that's a gift, really, for his ability to be able to relate to people. And I know he's always said that he wishes he could be more of an advocate for the homeless. And I still think he could do that.
I'm working on my 5th picnic right now for saying thank you to all the volunteers in the town, which is giving back to the community, which back in the past I took away from when I was doing the drugs and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to do more positive things and volunteering myself to help out as much as I can everywhere I go. I'm one of the more trusted people here at PADS and one of the more trusted people here at Wayside. And that means a lot to me.
You have these images about what the homeless are like, and you kind of think of these, you know, wide-eyed people on Lower Wacker Drive that I have nothing in common with. But you start getting to know these folks, and you start realizing they're just like me. They enjoy the same things, they have the same longings, the same desires. You know, were it not for the great support system I've got with family and friends and, you know, a pretty good hand I've been dealt, it could very well be me, because they're not really any different than I am.